Happy New Year,
Hello, we are
Clappers!
back.
We are back, and we are going to be talking about the one show that everyone's talking about on Netflix. Let's get into it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Give them a teaser, man. Give them a
Okay,
teaser.
Fine.
Let's talk about it. Hello there, Clapperheads, and welcome to a brand new edition of ClapperTalks. I'm Nick Dorian.
And I'm Kelvin Tay.
And yes, Happy New Year. We hope you've all had a wonderful New Year. If you're still listening, hopefully all of you are still listening, despite the fact we took a 2-3 week break.
Oh, yeah. Well-deserved.
Well-deserved 2-3 week break.
Okay.
And a lot of stuff has been happening in that. So before we get into the aforementioned series, let's talk about what we've been doing so far. What have you went off to Japan?
Yeah, I technically just came back from Japan. It was a 14-day trip. I went to Tokyo, Osaka. 10 out of 10.
Nice.
10 out of 10. Technically, I'm still in Japan, mentally. Spiritually.
Did you go see Godzilla?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Right.
Did she say hi?
No. Ha. Ha.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Right. Fantastic trip, lah. I mean, if I do jump into it, it's gonna be a whole episode long. But overally.
Yes,
Overally.
That's your new word of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Overally, Kelvin Tay,
right?
2025.
10 out of 10 trip.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I'm glad. You deserve that break. I know how hard you work, so you deserve that break.
Yeah, speaking about that, other things that we've been doing is just planning for Renegade Radio's 2025. Yeah, it's been hectic as well.
I'm excited to see.
Hectic as well.
That's what I want to talk to you about off the pod.
Yeah,
There's
off the pod.
some exciting things are coming for Renegade Radio.
You don't need to worry about it.
If you want to follow that, make sure you go and follow their Instagram at RRP Malaysia or renegadeplus.com.
Yes.
Now, talking about what has been happening with ClapperCorn specifically since we've been away.
There.
There's a lot to unpack. First of all, we've had some events while you were away. One which was very strange, but I'm very glad that they contacted us. We went to Shake Shack's new burger launch. In their news place in Sunway Pyramid. Go and try their burgers. It's really good. I love Shake Shack. I love Shake Shack because I used to have it a lot in Japan.
Right.
It is the bomb, man, Shake Shack. I realized when I came back, McDonald's just didn't do it for me anymore.
When I was in Tokyo, I'm actually quite surprised to see the amount of Shake Shacks that I've encountered. It's more common than I expected.
Yeah, because the burgers are good, man.
Okay.
The patties are juicy. The cheesy fries are so
Cheesy.
good. The cheesy fries, it's the crinkle cut fries.
Right, okay,
And then they just put cheese all over it.
Oh, man.
And their mushroom burger, it's a whole portobello mushroom, deep fried. It is the bomb. And surprisingly, their chicken burgers is damn crispy. Their chicken is so... Seriously, go to Shake Shack. They've now got one in TRX and Sunway Pyramid. So make sure you go check that out.
Do that.
But the most important thing, if you followed our Instagram, you would know that ClapperCorn is now under Team Goggler. Yay!
Shout out to Uma and
Shout out
Bahir.
to Uma and Bahir for taking us on board. We are very grateful for that. Basically, long story short, what you can expect from this collaboration and this team up is the fact that a lot more events you're going to see, a lot more films, a lot more reviews, a lot more content, and exciting things will definitely be coming for ClapperCorn with the
Looking forward
with
to
the
it, man.
powers combined.
It's gonna be a great 2025.
It is.
Right.
It has gone off to a great start, and we hope you have had a great start as well.
Yeah.
But you know who hasn't had a great start? The 456 players of Squid Game.
Right. So we're gonna take a quick break.
Yes.
So that's all the housekeeping that we're gonna do. So after this, it's gonna be a quick slider, and then we're gonna talk about it.
We'll be back.
스마일.
이 자리에 오신 여러분을 진심으로 환영합니다. 여러분들은 매 게임이 끝날 때마다 투표를 통해 그때까지 적립된 상금을 가지고 이곳을 나가실 수 있습니다.
저건 뭐야?
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the series that is the talk of the town yet once again. The second season of Squid Game.
I am pissed off.
Ooh, okay, okay. This is going to be a very interesting conversation then. Because I enjoyed it. Season 1 was great.
Season one was... I hate the word, but it's groundbreaking / unprecedented.
Yes.
In a sense where not only Asian people are talking about it, but Westerners are raving about it too.
The whole world was raving about Squid Game.
Yep.
Now, season 2, I feel didn't reach the same heights as season 1,
Mm-hmm.
but nevertheless, it is still a good season.
Nevertheless, yes.
Nevertheless, it was still a good season. It had a great story again. And this sort of thing of, not really spoilers, but it's this thing of 456, player 456, who's just trying to take down the whole operation.
Yep.
And I feel that makes a lot of sense. And going through the games again and reintroducing the most famous game, Red Light, Green Light, but adding new things as well, there's that element of like intense, you can't breathe at points.
Yeah.
And you're still wondering who wins, who lives, who dies.
Now, this is where I come in and say that it made me a bit disappointed. I hate the trend of breaking things down to part 1 and part 2. So season 2 was fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
The storyline, the acting, the plot, damn good.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't like it when they do it like Invincible, for example.
Yeah.
Right? Where they do season 3 part 1.
Yeah.
And then you wait like a whole year for season 3 part 2.
Yeah.
Same goes to like Attack on Titan, for example, where the ending, the ending arc of the whole anime took like what, part 1, part 2, part 3, and then a movie. Right? It's like, come on, bro. Right? And yeah, that's the biggest complaint I have, which is like you get us all the way to the end, and you're like, oh, 7 episodes, je, but they're only here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And don't tell me they're gonna do a cliffhanger, and they literally did a cliffhanger, and I was like, come on, man, I just want to binge it all.
The
Right.
moment, like, I think it was around about episode 5 where they were on the 3rd game, and I was like, wait,
Yeah.
they're on the 3rd game. There's still like 2
Something
more to
wrong
go.
here.
There's no way they're going to finish this up in 2 episodes. Sure enough, spoilers, it doesn't end in season 2.
Yep.
We are going to get a season 3, but
This year.
this year, on a positive note, it is coming out this year and might come out sooner than we think.
Okay.
I am guesstimating by middle of the year.
Is that a new word, guesstimating?
Isn't that in
Alright.
the dictionary? Guesstimating?
2025.
I'm sure it must be. Put it on your
Overally-
Scrabble board. Guesstimating.
Guesstimating.
But I feel I have an estimation of like April, May 2025.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure if they filmed everything together
Right.
or whether they're filming it separately. If they filmed it all together, then okay, the only thing you need to do
Fair
is
enough.
post-production. That's it, which is why they can get the episodes out sooner. Okay, back to the series. Let's start off with the story. Like we said before, story was great. It made a lot of sense and still delivered the same intensity that the first season had.
Yep.
If there are people out there that I know jump into a season 2 without watching season 1, it's weird, I know. Don't
Really?
do that with Squid Game.
Yeah.
Because you kind of need context beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Don't do
kind of
that.
do need context with the story, so make sure you watch season 1 of Squid Game. Just don't jump into it with the second season.
저 우리 팀 믿습니다. 또 여기 우승자도 계시니까.
What I also loved about the story was now we're getting 2 perspectives. One from the outside and one from the inside.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I found the most intense moment, like the moment that sold it for me was when he went into the game
Okay.
and he realized the chip in the tooth wasn't
Yeah.
there
What
anymore.
was missing?
I was like, oh, you're done for.
Yep.
I thought that was great.
He went into the game with like a grand plan, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a GPS. Oh wait, hold on a minute. Spoiler alert.
I mean, at this point,
Mild spoiler
mild
territories.
spoiler alert. It's not going to affect the story as a whole because we know he's there.
Yeah.
He's in the whole Squid Game.
Yeah.
But this is just like the reason why he couldn't get out. Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Okay.
say that's a spoiler. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put like a cautious warning here.
Yeah.
There might be a little spoiler peppered around, but just thread carefully, I guess.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mini spoilers?
Okay, so plot wise, he from season 1 itself, he's super rich now, and he's depressed because he has some survivor's guilt. Everyone that he was in season 1 with kind of died, and then he found out that player 001 from season 1 was one of the masterminds of the game, right? So he felt cheated. His best friend died, and then he's like, okay, I got all this money now. I'm gonna go get my revenge.
Yeah.
And by revenge is using the money he has to find the salesman guy.
Yes.
The frontman? No.
Not the front man. The front man is the one with the black mask.
Yeah.
Basically, I would call him a salesman lah.
The recruiter.
Recruiter, that's
the
it.
Recruiter,
Yes, the recruiter.
Right? Find a recruiter so that he can go back to the games, and then he put a GPS tracker, go in and try to cause chaos and just shut the game down.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't make for great TV.
Yeah.
So what happened later on was that, you're just going to watch season 2, man.
Yeah. Watch season 2.
Yeah.
It's a damn good story. Now, going on to the actors, of course, Jung-jae did I love him. I love him to death. He is a fantastic actor. I'm not going to spoil this. I'm going to say this with the least spoiler vocabulary I can find. That moment with the two people in the chairs.
Yes.
And
the rock,
scene.
paper, scissors.
Yes, the rock,
plus
paper, scissors.
-1.
Oh my God. That was such a fantastic scene.
I really enjoy season 2 with him, mainly because in season 1, you only see him for a brief moment.
It was almost like a cameo.
Yeah, he was just there. Don't flame me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, he is by he I mean Ha-joon is one of the biggest actors or celebrities in Korea, right?
Yes.
So for season 1, he had a very, very, very small role, like you said, like a cameo.
Yeah.
But in season 2, his character is more fleshed out, and you actually see what he do technically behind the scenes, how he recruit people, right? Acting this time around, oh my God, like you mentioned, that scene where you
it
can
just
see
flipped.
where you can see his humanity, his humility, and he knows that he's kind of fucked already.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into spoilers.
Yeah.
But oh my God, that part of the entire plot, fantastic.
Yes, that was fantastic. And of course, we have a brand new cast of actors because spoilers for season 1, everyone died. Except Jung-jae's character. So of course we're getting a whole bunch of new characters. Except returning is the frontman. I can't remember his name as well.
Byung-hun.
Yeah. Who I love as well. Like I watched him. My first introduction to him was a Korean series called Iris, which I would highly recommend. It's on Netflix now.
For me, it's I Saw the Devil. I don't know if you've seen it before.
I know I Saw the Devil.
That's
yes.
one of the best thriller, true crime, kind of killer film ever.
And Iris coincidentally also had T.O.P in it. So 2 people from Squid Game was in that series. He again is an amazing actor, and seeing the battle between him and Jung-jae and the stuff that he does within the game, not spoilers, is just a fantastic piece of acting.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't tell what is going on in his mind. You can try, but you won't be right.
I feel like he knew that the main character wanted revenge, so he's trying to punish him.
Yes.
To subdue, not subdue, to submit him.
Yes.
To be like, you want to play a hero? This is what a hero gets.
You want to play the game? Let's play the real game.
Yeah.
The other actor that I want to point out, only because I have a soft spot, is T.O.P. because I love Big Bang, and seeing T.O.P. again, he's been missing for a long time, and seeing him again playing essentially. So yeah, but
I hated his character.
But you see, if you hate his character, he's done a damn good job of it.
Yep.
Because
he's supposed to be like the washed out celebrity.
Yeah.
Right?
Essentially, he's playing himself.
Yeah. And there was like articles and rumors spreading around that he never got a script.
Oh, really?
And apparently he was just doing whatever the director gave him free reign to do whatever he wanted to do. Hence why you get like really weird scripts out of nowhere that is out of left field. Everyone is like so stoic and serious and trying to win the game. Everyone's speaking Korean, and then you got this weeaboo rapper with like bright blue hair, handsome
Purple
looking
hair,
guy. Yeah,
Thanos.
right. You know, Thanos. And he mixed in like Korean and really broken English and like senorita.
I love it.
and it was so out of for me. I disliked his character because it took me out of the immersion, but at the same time, I'm also reminded that these are very desperate people.
Yes.
Right? And desperate people do whatever they can to get either attention,
Yeah.
to be number one, and in the Squid Game, to be number one means literally life or death.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, like, I loved his character. I know a lot of people hate it, but just for me knowing it's just T.O.P. playing
I
T.O.P.,
hated his character.
I was like, go for it, man. The bigger, the better. Just go for it, man. Now going on to the games itself, which is always a big part of Squid Game, is the games. Of course, we had the return of Red Light, Green Light with a new improved light. That doll went through Korean facial surgery.
I saw that too.
Yep.
I saw that too.
It's-
Brighter, nicer, you know, like a 2.0, you know,
Yeah.
V 2.0.
They had literally plastic surgery.
I feel like this time around in season 2, the games were not as exciting. To me, the games were a bit underwhelming, a bit lukewarm at best.
Okay.
Mainly because, again, there is two things I want to say here. Number one, mainly because it's part 1, part 2, right? We only saw half of whatever was played.
Yeah.
And the part 2 was, it wasn't as... What's the word for it, Nick? It wasn't as kanchong.
Okay. It wasn't as...
Wasn't as risky.
Yes.
Wasn't as risky because in season 1, like the tug of war game, right?
Yeah.
When you lose, bro, literally like 10 plus people died, right? But in
okay.
season 2, like the one that you gotta tie your leg and then you
Yeah.
do like the run. I felt like that was kind of mid.
That one was a bit mid, but I would disagree with you in the sense of like the other game, which has now spawned another trending song that everyone is
Which one?
singing now. The one where they're in the sort of rotating circle in the middle,
Right.
and they have to run to a door.
Yeah, run to a door. It's
To
like,
me, I was so tense watching that because for some reason I felt I was there and like, yeah. How do you in a small amount of time, I think it was 30 seconds,
30 seconds.
gather that number of people and
Yep.
get into a room, and then it becomes a case of there might not be enough
yeah,
room.
it's like a musical chair.
Yes.
I forgot the name of the game, but,
I also forgot, yeah.
it's very similar to musical chair where you are in the circle.
Yeah.
There's music. Once the music stops, there's going to be a number on the door.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's 5, right? That means like in all the room, maximum there's only 5 people,
Yeah.
right? Maximum 5, but it has to be 5.
Yes.
Anything less than 5, you also lose the game. And by losing the game, again, you know, it's Squid Game, you die.
Yes. And hearing all the gunfire while the door is closed
Oh my God.
and seeing everyone get shot, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this one is intense.
And then as the game progresses, you can see more and more blood that they did not clean up.
Yeah.
And
I was like,
I felt like that was a very interesting take in directing.
Yeah.
Because yes, you are playing a game, but then the later on the game progressed to the more blood you see and you'll be like, oh shit, they are not just playing a game.
You're reminded of the consequences.
Yes.
Like again, that where they're all tied with the feet and walking across. Remember there was one time where the stone was in the blood and they're like,
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Yep.
oh.
You are not playing a game.
Oh, sorry. I just want to point out again, another actor that I thought I loved their performance was the one that played the trans woman.
That one
That
would
actor.
be Park Sung-hoon, I think.
Park Sun-hoon. Okay. I absolutely loved his take on that character and bringing such an emotional depth to that character.
Oh, yeah.
And with actually, honestly, very little words. Like you felt everything. And when you see the army man come out as well and the leader as well come
Yes.
out, I was like, oh, I'm not going to say what, and I think you know this, but that final episode, seeing him in that final episode and what
Yes.
he did blew me away. I thought his arc was fantastic.
Fantastic, because in the first episode when that character was introduced,
Yeah.
everyone was like, oh, she's a transgender, it's like that's a bit like off. But then as the episodes progress, you can also see people start to respect them.
Yes,
and
respect. That's the word.
yeah, right? And it's like, oh, okay. Because there were parts of it where, there are people saying that, oh, we're Marines, look, we got the Marine tattoo. And some of the characters kind of chicken out during a gunfight. And then you could see that character stood up and played the leader role and be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
if I don't do this, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I loved that so much. Now, before we call this episode to a close, I would like to remind everyone, if you don't know by now, which is recently resurfacing again, Squid Games is actually inspired by a true story. Believe it or not.
Okay, I saw that on
Yeah.
social media. I think I saw it on TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. I was just doom scrolling.
Same.
And I was like,
And then I did my research and
Yeah.
I found out Brothers Home in Korea. Now, Brothers Home was essentially South Korea's concentration camp. They all wore, believe it or not, tracksuits that were blue with white stripes. Very similar to the Squid Game uniform. Everyone slept in massive bunk beds, again, like Squid Games. And these are people who were either homeless or broke or in desperate need of money, who were rallied up in the knowledge of getting a better life. This was essentially the way they got around it, was calling it a welfare home to get people back on their feet. But it wasn't. It was torture. It was essentially, if you think of Auschwitz in Germany, this was South Korea's version of it. And finding out and doing more research of this Brothers Home situation,
I'm looking at
Yeah.
pictures now.
it makes Squid Game even more haunting, knowing that something like this happened in real life. It may not have been about games and whatnot, but these people, there were people that were like 2 years ranging from almost babies to old people. And the
Yeah.
fact that the police was also involved.
I'm reading this article here, and it says I'm looking at a picture of children
Yes.
in vans coming down.
Yes.
And the caption here is unaccompanied children of all ages were classified as neglect or vagrants by local police and were abducted and taken to Brothers Home. And they were young. Some of them
Yep.
are young,
Yes.
bro.
It's a fascinatingly haunting piece of Korean history that if you want to learn more about Squid Game, find out about this story, the Brothers Home scandal. It's fascinating. I went down a rabbit hole on this and realized how disgusting, but intriguing, I don't think is the word. But when you see a car accident,
Yep.
like you just want to know more. And it's like,
Yeah.
how can something like this happen? And not only that, you know how Squid Games is very isolated in the woods and
Yep.
whatnot? So was this. You had to really dig deep into the woods to find this camp. And I think the creator has already come out to say that it's partially inspired by this Brothers Home. But I think the first Squid Game didn't point that out. Somehow this second season has really brought that out to light. And I'm seeing
damn.
more and more, like you said, on
Right.
TikTok and whatnot,
Right,
that
yeah.
led me to do a lot more research on
Yeah,
YouTube, on the
because
BBC articles and whatnot.
I saw it on social media and I was like, it's probably a scam. Because it was just like doom scrolling. I didn't
Yeah.
bother doing any research whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are a few TikTok videos of like the inside of the home where it looks like Squid Game.
Yeah.
I feel that might be AI.
Yep.
That one I can't trust.
Yep.
But the story itself of Brothers Home is very, very, very much real.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, the biggest link of how Squid Game is obviously inspired by this was the uniform that they all wore.
Yep.
That blue tracksuit with the white stripes. And they were all called by numbers. They were stripped away of their names and they were all called by numbers. Sound familiar?
Damn, man.
Yeah.
It's like a proper concentration camp.
Yes. So if you're done with Squid Game, go and have a look at that and just see what inspired the show in the first place.
It's crazy. Anyways,
all episodes of Squid Game Season 2 and Season 1 are now on Netflix.
Season 2 Part 1.
Season
2 Part 1.
Season 3 or Season 2 Part 2 is coming out some point this year, so keep a lookout for that. If you haven't watched Squid Game, go and check it out. Seriously, there's a reason why it became so iconic, especially that first season. But I would also recommend, if any of you are like finding something to fill in the void between these two seasons, go and watch the 8 show, also on Netflix.
Yes.
That is absolutely fantastic as well, about 8 contestants in sort of a reality game show who have to compete to get money, and they're just trapped in there. It's a wonderful watch, and I love that show right now. I'm hooked on it. I'm on episode 5. I'm waiting to finish this. So go watch the 8 show and go watch Squid Game. Only on Netflix.
Only on Netflix.
Dun, dun.
And
Until then, make sure you follow our social media at ClapperCorn on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube.
Oh, you can, if you want to learn more about the Malaysian podcasting space, you can find us on Instagram or TikTok at RRP Malaysia, or check out our website, www.renegadeplus.com.
Thank you so much again for joining us. Happy New Year once again.
Happy New Year, guys.
I am Nick Dorian.
This is Blinky.
Oh, I forgot Blinky's back.
Dido. And of course, I'm Kelvin Tay.
More and more people are joining this podcast. I don't know if I like it. Keep watching the movies.
Goodbye, people.